who's accomplished, who's a leader in the field, but also someone who will engage an audience of educators while conveying an innovative and yet affirming message. After last night's impromptu performance, I'm confident that Yo will do all of that and more. Yo is currently teaching Japanese at the North Salinas High School, and he's a team leader at the Monterey Bay Foreign Language Project. He also serves as a College Board Advisor for AP Japanese Language and Cultural Development Committee. He's conducted numerous presentations and seminars, both regionally and nationally. In 2003, he served as a member of the Instructional Materials Advisory Panel for the California Department of Education. Most recently, he was given the distinct honor of the 2012 ACTFL Teacher of the Year, which, by the way, his official title is ACTFL TOY, which I thought was very interesting. So without further ado, I would like to invite Yo Azama.
Hello, NYSAFLT? Did I say it right? NYSAFLT. Oh, that. Okay, well, thank you. Thank you. How are you all doing this morning? Thank you for making me feel welcome. Many things you've done to welcome me. One of the things is thank you, Brian. He put my address here, Salinas, New York, but I'm from California. Thank you, though. It's intentional. I'm gonna take this. I'm not gonna take it off on the plane, so to let people know I'm from Salinas, New York. Nowadays, Salinas. And Charles, thank you so much for the great speech. And I do love StoryCorps. Don't you? Do you know StoryCorps? Oh my God. Thank you. I mean, I'm gonna look it up, and every Friday I cry on the way to school. That's when the StoryCorps is on. So every Friday, first period, students see me like my eyes all red, and you know, why are you, crying? It's such a great things. Well, thank you so much. So, okay, it's kind of weird. I don't usually use podium, but I'm going to do my best to stay here. Okay. Okay. All right, yes, I'm a toy, older toy, 2012. I should be like a Toy Story 5 or something, I don't know. Put it away, old kind, recycle. And that's what's gonna happen to you, Charles. Toy, you're a toy too. But I have hair. That's okay, it's just warmer, it's nothing personal, that's how it is. Okay, so, let's start. I'm from Japan, if you haven't noticed by now, and I teach Japanese, right? How many Japanese speakers do we have here? Okay, one! No. Okay, great, so I can say whatever I want to say. Okay. So my mom always said, if you go to a party, don't go party empty-handed, right? That's rude. In Japanese culture, that's no-no, okay? I assume that you don't know much about Japanese culture. I'll tell you a little bit. So Japanese culture, you go to someone's house and then you bring a gift, right? You usually walk away with a gift too. They will give you a gift back. And then you're supposed to send another gift, buy gift and send it to them. And they always write a card and go back and forth. And if you write out a gift, you lose that game. So I thought about bringing gifts here. You guys have everything almost. So I brought the gift of ours. And I know, it costs me nothing, but hey. Just take a moment, enjoy. So you guys look like someone who graduated from college with a degree, or two, or three, or too many. So do you recognize any art here? Yes. Can I see a hand? Yeah. Oh, okay. Not many hands. Okay. How many of you recognize? What do you recognize? Oh, okay. This is you should not do in the classroom, right? What do you recognize? 100 people to shout out. Okay. Yes. Van Gogh, the one in the middle, yeah? The self-portrait.
Yeah, and then the one on right.
No, I take one. Just take one at a time now. One for you. So, Van Gogh is self-portrait, right? The guy in the middle. He's from where? Dutch. Yeah, he's Dutch, right? He's Dutch, right? From like 1700s, 1800s. That's a long time ago. Yeah, most of us weren't there, but some of you were. Okay, what else do you recognize? Yes.
Birth of Venus, Botticelli.
Botticelli from Italy. That's a long time ago, 1400s. That's a long time ago. By the way, that's how I look like in the morning. When I got out of the shower. In the good days, I look like that. At least in my mind, I look like that. So what else do you see? Yes? Scream. Edward Munch or Monk? Okay, I hear both, so Munch. Okay, I'll say it. Munch and Monk. Okay, from Norway. Scream. By the way, that's how, what teachers look like in front of the coffee machine Monday, right? Oh my God, coffee machine's not working. So by the way, I heard something interesting. That's kind of gender neutral. It could be, man or female, the scream. It's kind of cool. So what else? Okay, 3 down, 2 more to go. Come on now. Yes?
I don't know who did it, I'm ashamed to say, but the Edo block footprint is the Mount Fuji.
A famous Japanese painter named Hokusai in the 1700s. He was a big influence in French art as well. So you see a lot of his influence in the French art. Now the last one left. I know you must be under age of 30, right? Yes, gentlemen. Okay, in the back.
It's Banksy in Palestine.
Yes, Banksy. The one on the right, down bottom, that's the British artist, but he is a street artist, graffiti artist. He goes around different countries and does the artwork like this, and it's usually political, as you can see, and it's kind of like a, political message. And his artwork was stolen, and it was sold on eBay for $1 million. I'm wondering, so who got the money then? The people who stole? I don't know. So he's from he's British, from Britain, I guess. Yeah, he's British, and so we have different artists from different countries, from different eras, spoke different languages, coming from different cultural backgrounds, right? But they all have something in common. What do artists try to accomplish through their art? I'm gonna do quick think, pair, share. I said quick think, pair, share. What do artists trying to accomplish through their arts? Not particularly these artists, but the artists, just in general, artists. Okay, ready, go. So meanwhile, I'm gonna go get my pointer thing from there. Okay.
I'm like, why aren't you here?
Okay, we're pressing time, so that was 5 minutes. Okay, good. So what do they trying to accomplish? What do artists trying to accomplish through their arts? Anyone? What are they trying to do? Yes?
A message.
A message. A message. What the message? Why do they have to use their artwork to get the message out?
It's a universal language.
It's a universal language. Okay. What else? What other reasons? Yes, in the back. Culture.
Like a commentary on culture.
Yes, commentary on culture, the reflection of their culture. And what else? Yes?
Yeah, to express a feeling,
Feeling, emotions of the artist. And anything else? They're trying to connect, right? Connect with the world. So if they are artists and if they have those feelings but they don't express those feelings, they just stay there and not been noticed, right? For a long time. But we have this urge to be seen, to be acknowledged, to be connected. And that's what artists do. Do we have artists in here, by the way? I don't check your credentials, don't worry. Do you think you're artists? Okay, good. Now, 1 or 2, okay. So, exactly. So, have you heard the term teaching is an art? Okay. Something similar. What we do is similar to what artists do. So we try to interpret the world and present it to students and inspire them. And sometimes good artists make them feel uncomfortable, push the envelope. Some concepts are not so foreign, right, to the students. They make them feel uncomfortable. That's what good artists do. Sounds familiar? So now show me your hands if you're an artist. Exactly, you are. But only difference is I'm just better than you. That's the only difference, just so you know. Okay. So reading the world. So speaking of reading the world, so that's really becomes the crucial in this age of life. And let's see. So speaking of the world, but without this planet we share is called Earth. The Earth without art is just Must be done by Canadian. Oh, they can hear us. We're so close. I don't know. But, so we need art. So we talk about Earth and global and this and that. We often talk about our world is shrinking. I'm not talking about literally, or sense. I'm not Al Gore talking about it. So I'm not talking about physical, or Earth is shrinking. Perhaps, who knows? But is the world around us? Is it really shrinking? This is I promise. This is the last think picture. Don't you hate that think picture? Aren't you tired of it by now? The conference. Okay, so do you think the world is shrinking? Okay, I'll give you 1 minute this time. Generous 1 minute. Okay, ready? Go. Okay, that was 1 minute. Okay, just it's a good time to stand up. I'll give you some excuse to stand up. Stretch your legs. Okay. So if you think the world is shrinking, if you stand up all the way. All the way. Yeah, stand up. If you think it's shrinking, interesting. Look around. Those people. I don't have the answer, by the way. Okay, good. All right, thank you. What about those people who you think that it's shrinking? Not so much. Stand up. Okay, good. That's okay. I'm giving you see, Charles stood up twice. To stretch his legs. Okay, right. Thank you. Reason for that is some of you stood twice, maybe because it's both can be, right? So I didn't give you that choice, did I? Yeah, good. Of course not. Okay. So speaking of word shrinking, so do you know what percentage of Americans have passport? Don't look it up. I know you're using your iPhone. Does anyone? Okay, just call out.
25.
25. 10. That's a pessimistic group table right there. Okay. 10, 21, 60 or 60. Optimistic over there. The light shining and this dark corner right here. So, okay. It changes who counts it, but it's about 30 to 35%. Is it more than you thought? It's interesting, right? So let me show you visually what they look like. Each yellow dot indicates a flight going in and out of countries. Can you see back there? Sorry, it's bright. Wow, it's moving forward. So you can tell a lot of things by looking at this map, right? With the heavy traffic and less traffic, no traffic. Interesting things happening. But look at that, especially going out of the countries from the U.S., only 32% of privileged. Few. How many of you have passport? Exactly. You are. Okay. But when you ask that same question to your students, think about it. If it's 30, by the way, more scary thing is this. Out of those 32% of people with a passport who are privileged to go in and out of the country and experience another culture and language, half of their trips are made to Canada and Mexico. Now do the math. It's really handful, like 10% of Americans get to leave the continent? Wow, huh? Wow, I'm trying to, yeah. By the way, if you weren't there last night for dinner, this is a symbol for wow. W-O-W. Okay, that's late. Oh, this takes a long time. So my question is this. What about those students? In my class, I asked students 2 years ago when we went to Japan, passport. We need a passport if you want to come back. So they said, well, actually only one of them had a passport, and from the Philippines. So that'll tell you, right? So if we don't bring the world to our classroom, where do they get worldview? Where do they get it? Anyone? What? At home. At home. Okay. We'll go to your home. Okay. Yes. Where do they get it? Where do they get the word? TV. Did you say TV? What? Did you say Fox TV? Oh my God. Doors that way. I do say. Okay. So I took a risk. So you say TV, right? So now we're living in the 21st century. How many channels are there? thousands. Oh my, I couldn't leave my hotel room. You know, the reason why I was not dancing because I'm like TV junkie. It's like, oh, I don't have TV at home. But when I go to stay at a hotel, I'm like, oh my God, this is what's happening. Amazing. So, TV, guess what? Okay, here's the thing. Oh, I'm gonna skip. I'm gonna be quiet and let you read. Those people who cannot read in the back, I'll read it for you.
Yeah.
So basically, this is about major medias, ABC, NBC, so major medias used to cover international news more in the 70s than they do now. Isn't that crazy? So like we're getting less information from TV. I remember when I moved to this country about 21, 2, 3 years ago, I can't remember. So I remember there's so many talk shows about, and then when you go to Japan you see so many food channels, food shows. Food about people eating something. Food show about people eating something, making commentary. That was a show in Japan. But when we come here, but the Japanese news media always covered American news at the end. Like there's a segment, always of a world news section. So if we're not getting the information from the TV, what do they get? Computers, internet. No doubt, internet is gonna be there for a long time, and it's a great tool. However, how do we? So information is too much information out there, and how do we navigate? How do we teach students how to navigate information, right? How do we make sense of it? So that becomes important. So our role is crucial. If we don't do that, we don't count on TV or internet. If we don't bring a culture or experience, learning a culture and language and experience in the classroom, they're not getting it. They're not getting it. So I'd like to share a story of this one boy that I came to know really closely about his journey to discover the world. Charles mentioned about something about finding out who they are, helping students find out who they are, exactly it, and help them find out who they are and what their roles are. So I'd like to share this one story about this kid. Yes. Oh, I know, it's Jackie Chan. No, it's me, just chubbier. So I was born in Okinawa, small island. How many of you know Okinawa? Great, only 5? Okay. So I was born in Okinawa, and to the parents who spoke Okinawan language. By the way, we have distinct culture, music, and the food, healthy food. There's a book called Okinawan Diet. Okinawans live forever. I know, you don't guess it, but I'm like 102 years old. I know all the Asian diets working. So my grandma was 102 when she passed away. After she hit 95, we were all worried that she's going to outlive us. But finally, luckily or sadly, she went. So that's Okinawa. And then, but at school, Japanese education. We were not allowed to speak Okinawan at school, and Japanese language was a ticket out. It was a success. You go to Tokyo and then you make it. It's a success, language of success. Then what made my Okinawan experience really, really unique is that American experience. I know Bee Gees is not American, technically. They're from Australia or somewhere. But to me, that's American enough. Okay. And there's a big, huge American presence, military presence in Okinawa. Still is. And then, family circus. Is it still going on? As a kid, 7-year-old Azama, reading the book in English, trying to make sense of it, it's so much fun. And then, lastly, you brought spam to my island. I love spam. I used to. Yes. Okay. And Dairy Queen ice cream. And then I will dance to this song. I know. Close your eyes for a moment. If you dance to this song in your prom, you're dating yourself. So that was my experience. But through this experience, what I found out was 3 distinct cultures, and they have different code of ethics and ways of thinking. What's funny though, being on the island, there's beautiful beaches out there, and oftentimes on the weekends we do barbecues. And Japanese tourists will come, American soldiers come and join us. We use, little language, but we communicate. We'll dance all night, we eat all night and having a good time. Does it make sense? So what's unique about America is that we have multilingual, multicultural. Those are the resources, those are assets that we have that Japan doesn't have a lot. You go to Japan, everyone looks like this and talk the same, and so what happened was at that time I was going through really, really rebellious time, 15 years old. How many of you are still going through that phase? I know, God, I knew that. Okay. So, and then the difficult child as I was, my parents didn't know what to do. I had a red mohawk, and don't tell my students though. I was crazy, angry about everything. I was angry about at the chair, So one day my mom came home and said, "Hey, yo, what? Guess what? You're going to America." What? When? Sunday. It was Wednesday. Okay. So, okay, where are we? Where are we going? No, you are going. So, make it short. So they tried to do everything to get rid of me that time. So, which really, I totally get it now. I would do the same or more. So they sent me to Seattle, Lutheran University. It was summer camp. She said, only 2 weeks. It turned out to be 3 months. Okay, my English was really, really, really bad that time. So I would say, hello, my name's Yo, I'm Japan, or something like that. So it was that bad. So I cried and talked to anyone. I talked to myself in the shower. And I would look for someone look like me, cafeteria. I found someone look like this. I spoke Japanese to her, and she turned out to be Filipino. So anyway, 2 weeks later, music became my second language, actually. And then through music, I was able to make friends, and I didn't want to leave this country after that 3 months. So if I could send all my students to Japan and have them experience that, that sounds kind of mean, but I would. But at least what I can do is bring Japan to the classroom as much as I can. And that's inspire them, and that make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. That's a great place to be. Because if I don't, they don't get that. And not only to know Japan or anything, but know themselves. Like a language, learning a language is like a mirror in front of you, isn't it? Just to see if you have coffee stain your face, you need a mirror to find out who you are. So through language learning and cultural learning, that's the only way that we really, truly find out who we are in this world. So, being a toy, I've been asked this question all the time, benefits of language learning and culture. It's so funny, on the way, in the shuttle, on the way from Monterey to San Francisco in California, I went to the airport, I sat next to this woman, and who was complaining, her daughter got a degree in French, and she was not making money. So, okay, and she was complaining about this. I said, lady, you're talking to toy right now. Let me tell you. Studies show that language learning really helps students become more open to everything and flexible and adaptable to new situations. And she started nodding. Oh yeah, she makes good friends and she's adaptable, she's flexible. Why are you complaining about? Well, she's not making enough money. Well, that's another story, but she will, but she's happy. She's very happy. She's happy. She's the happiest when she reads French literature. She immerses herself and she cannot stop, reading it. So, well, I think you have a really healthy daughter. You must be really lucky. So, benefits of language learning and culture. If you have 45 seconds to tell your administrator or your neighbor or your fellow passenger to spread advocate language learning, what would you say? You only have 45 seconds. You don't have 45 hours, okay? Pick one thing that you will say to your neighbor, and we're gonna practice. Are you ready? So you'll find your partner, and the taller person goes first. Always. Always. Ready? Go. Thank you, thank you. I'm so sorry, I'm funny. Yeah, I'm going really fast. I apologize. I know the other person didn't have a chance, but you can continue doing that coffee break. I know yours are all valid and nice and all, but mine's better. So I'm going to share mine first, and let's see. So researchers, I didn't make this up. Researchers show that students who are exposed to another language and culture have more flexibility and creativity in thinking. Those are great skills that, not great, but essential skills that students and we must have in the 21st century. So, they have ways of finding it in now using a functional MRI, and something that we can do before, now we can. So it's a neurons moving, and if you're bilingual, and if you're exposed to another culture and language, and that neurons move fast and from different regions of your brain and stuff. Basically, if you forget all that, just know that you are smarter than monolingual, okay? And then I'm going to skip job opportunities, and unlocking one's own potential is something personal to me. I used to think language is a tool, just to add something, a toolbox. But it's really more than that, isn't it? So language really helps us think differently. That's a great skill and a less fearful place to be if you can attain that. And many researchers also show that, not many people know this, but people who study another language and culture, they can cope better with unknown situations in your life. So if you had a marital problem or friendship, or I don't know, some kind of problem, usually you don't connect that. Oh, I'm glad I took French. I was connected. You don't make that connection, right? But perhaps you overcame those challenges because you've learned another language and culture. How does that sound? So oftentimes, sometimes, parents come and then, why my daughter and son need to learn Japanese? They're not going to use it. Really? Well, tell me why. So those things that you have to say that. You only have 45 seconds to capture their, attention, right? So, but who knows better than our students? So this is language PSA that my students made last year. Sure, I'm sorry, I'm really running.
You're okay.
This is Joe. He is a typical high school senior who likes football and video games. He works part-time as a lifeguard after school and wants to own his own business in the future. This is Jane. She's an ordinary high school junior who likes to study history and she loves to read.
Sure,
She's not sure what career path she wants, but she's currently interested in the arts. These are what many would consider typical high school students you see from any American town. But what you don't see is they both have been studying another language for more than 3 years. They can communicate with students from other countries, appreciate exotic foods, music, and arts, gain deeper understanding of their own cultures, and live in their language. But learning another language is a lot more than that. Did you know that people who have exposure to another language and culture have more flexibility and creativity in thinking? Perhaps that's why college graduates with language skills have a better employment rate. Research has shown that the ability to speak more than one language has positive effects on both young people and not so young people. Bilingual brains are better in adjusting to new environments and have better problem-solving skills. Also, bilingual seniors can experience less mental decline. Our world is a complex place. Don't you think we need to learn more about other cultures too? See, our average Joe and Jane are not so average after all.
What do you think? I know. Okay, 2 years ago, 2012, and before I went to ACTFL, a couple days before I went to ACTFL that year, and I don't know if you allow students to eat in your classroom, but I do, so they were eating at that time, and I said, it's not in class. I said, well, I'd like to see a language public service announcement. I don't see many of them. I searched on the internet, not really. So and then one kid said, I think I can write a script. You do that. Oh, I learned this great green screen effect. Oh, you do that. I can act in 6 kids that volunteered, and my expectation was really low. I mean, it's not assignment or anything, right? And normally, you know how we are, language teachers, or teachers in general, we are so anal. I need to see, what is the draft? I draft due tomorrow. I'll make sure everything's great. Who's doing what? I want to know, you know? That was sometimes, it taught me sometimes we have to get out of our comfort zone. That was a comfort zone challenge for me. Okay, well, guess what? I have to leave on Wednesday. If you care, if you make it, hey, why don't you send it to me? I forgot about it. So then the Saturday, ding, Dropbox, you know, came on, and what is this? I looked, and then I saw this. And really? And then, but I thought I had to, you know, I'm a teacher, I have to have something to say. So I said, I emailed back, it's good. It's good. But I think it would be nice if you put discover languages and discover the world. That's an actual, you know, slogan. They will like that. And they emailed me back. Unfortunately, it doesn't flow with the continuity. And so my contribution to this is none. So 0. But I often think about it, that mirrors the real life. Each person contributed something unique that they can do, and voluntarily. And I thought about giving them points or grades because they did a good job. Then second thought, I thought, no, that's going to defeat the purpose. They wanted to do it. They did it. They didn't do it for the points, right? And then this video was on the Apple website for 6 months or so, maybe longer. And this, I teach students who come from, you know, less privileged background. And for them to have their video on national website for that long, how cool is that? Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna wrap up. So finding one's place in the world. Certainly, I'm finding my own place in the world, and so we must give a global canvas to students. Remember the artwork that we started with, and then show them how to use the paint and brushes so they can draw their future, which is our own future. Because future is not something we should wait for. That's something we should create together. Thank you so much for having me.